Hi everyone, I hope you are all doing great. I am here to do your quick advice for the month of November, and this is going to be quick for each sign. We're going to start with Aries, of course. I am recording this in the US. We are having quite a bit of a week here because we have 2020 election that just took place. We still don't know what's going to happen. Well, we have an idea, but we really don't have an idea. So anyhow, and wow, it's getting cloudy, huh? That changed really fast. Okay, so again, I am Elena Valdez. Please subscribe, click the like button, and leave a comment if you feel so inclined to do. Okay, let's start with Aries. And we're asking Spirit for a quick advice. Just like a little quick, hey, heads up. This is what you got to be watching out for in November. So let's start. Spirit, what is it that we need to be aware of here in the month of November in terms of our own personal life? We already know there's a lot going on the macro level. There's a lot going on in the world. But what is something we need to take and keep in mind for ourselves, our personal lives? Beginning with Aries. Quick advice for the month of November. And that was fast, of course, Aries. Six of Pentacles. So Aries, it looks like you will be dealing with some balance or needing to make sure that all things are in balance. And that this is not only, Pentacles is all about our value system. It's all about resources, right? But what are resources? Resources are effort, value that that we convert into currency, right? And that currency converts into stuff that we consume, that we buy and whatnot. So the Six of Pentacles is all about balancing those things. So it's about paying attention to where you're putting your energy, who you're putting your energy into, what projects you are allocating your time into as well. And so when the Six of Pentacles comes up as an advice card, Spirit wants you to really be aware of how you're utilizing your own sacred resources, meaning your own time, your own knowledge. And, I'm hearing it's also about the kind of advice that you give. And this just wickedly came in right now. And it's sort of like I'm getting the sense that there are people here, or a person who is an Aries, who is giving advice, but putting themselves into the outcome of that advice. In other words, I'm getting the sense here, and this could also be for those of you who are in professions that are about guiding others, right? So if you're a life coach, a therapist, a psychotherapist, or even, a tarot card reader, or in the spiritual arts or what have you, or a teacher, social worker and all of that, there's a sense here that there are some of you who are who are attaching yourselves to the outcome of whatever advice or guidance you're giving to others. And that's very, very clearly coming in. So what Spirit is saying here is to be very careful to know where to draw the line, know where you begin and where you begin and where you end in terms of a client relationship, student-teacher relationship, mother-daughter relationship, or whatnot. And remember, to give advice, if the advice is actually wanted and asked for, not just to put in your 2 cents in there where perhaps it's not something that was asked of you, because there's a sense here of feeling like, and I hate to use this word, I'm an Aries, so I'm kind of like speaking to myself here as well. I'm getting the sense of you kind of feeling entitled to the outcome of someone else's outcome in terms of that advice that you're giving. I hope that makes sense. It will for those of you who are currently in the middle of that. So Six of Pentacles. Be aware of where you're putting your energy. Make sure that there's an equal give and take. And make sure that for you specifically, Aries, that you're not putting in 2 cents where you shouldn't be putting your 2 cents in. And also, if you do, if it is asked for and you do give guidance, advice, or whatnot, that you're not so attached to the outcome. Remember, the outcome belongs to the other person, not to you. Okay? In other words, mind your own business. And I said that with love. Okay, next, Taurus. This is for quick advice for the month of November. Okay, Taurus. What advice do you have for Taurus, Spirit? It's threatening to rain here soon. So the clouds are coming in. Okay. Ten of Swords. Okay. So Taurus, there's some stuff you're going through, right? But you're at the tail end of it here. And, Spirit is advising that in the midst, if you can get away and find some solitude, a space, place to think, to be with yourself. If some of you are thinking of taking a little time out, maybe if you're having conflict at home, you're thinking about renting, like an Airbnb for a few days or whatnot, or getting yourself away from parents or wherever it is that you're finding conflict. It could even be in the workplace, right? If there's some conflict, you're thinking of physically pulling yourself away for a little bit because it's been heavy on you. The great thing about the Ten of Swords, though, is that although it is heavy energy, it's about reaching the end of something. And it's also more about mental, emotional than it actually is tangible. Meaning, and it's not to say that it's not valid to you, because obviously these emotions are valid because you're experiencing them, right? So it's important that you give yourself the time and space that you need to process them, go through it, and that way you can come back and deal with the issues. But whatever energy you're facing, and it might be energy that you faced here in October going into November, but whatever this is, it's been really heavy and it's been making you feel isolated. It's been making you feel alone and lonely too. So it could also be relationship-wise, feeling lonely, as if, there's really no one there to rely on or that you feel is on your side. And what this is saying is that it's more that that's what you're thinking versus what it really is, and that you're at the tail end of it and there is light at the end. See how she's like looking at the other side of things, like that she's literally walking towards it and looking at it, and there's something better waiting for her on the other side. So you just kind of have to go through this little bit, and you're almost there. So hang in there. I know it's hard, right? Like you want more of a, things are going to get better like right now, but you're going to go through it just a little longer and then you'll be out of it soon enough. By the end of November, I'd say. Hopefully sooner. Okay, Gemini. What is your quick advice for Gemini for the month of November, Spirit? Okay, here we go. You got 2, Gemini. 2 cards. Walking into heartbreak, huh? Are you walking into heartbreak, but you know better, Gemini? Like, it's almost like you're playing with fire, and that's exactly what these 2 look like. Look at her. She's like in her element, right? 3 of Wands is all about being in your element with other energies. It's also a very creative number. 3 is a very creative number. It's feeling free. And then you notice here you got the 3 of Swords. So there are 2 3s here. And in relationship, this could be indicative of some kind of third-party situation. Not always, but in this case, it looks kind of mischievous. It looks like she knows she shouldn't be walking into this. Like, you shouldn't go there, but you're looking that direction, even though it's going to cause you heartache. So what I'm picking up here as the advice for you, Gemini, you know, Three of Wands, what is beautiful about Three of Wands is a sense of knowing who you are, being open, knowing who you are, and at the same time being open to what's out there in the world, like new beginnings, traveling, exploring the world, being free, trying a new hobby, just trying on whatever makes you feel free and passionate in that Wands energy, because Wands is powerful, right? It's physical, it's raw energy. And so the three is sort of like that little, carrot, that dangling of the carrot, like, ooh, what's over there? That looks interesting. But Gemini, just make sure that what looks interesting, isn't going to cause you pain, because, you're going to do what you're going to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do, obviously, right? But if you have been wondering if that thing that you're curious about is going to cause you some heartbreak, if Spirit is bringing out Three of Wands and Three of Swords paired together, there's a possibility here that you are already aware that there is something that's not necessarily for your best interest. And so Spirit is saying to really take a pause and really take stock of those things you want to do, those hobbies, those relationships, those new things, and see if out of all those things, you're choosing the ones that are right for you, so that you don't have to go through this heartbreak. And this is not just about heartbreak for you, but heartbreak for those that it will affect. Now, I know some of you immediately, it's easy to immediately jump to the conclusion of cheating, right? But it doesn't always necessarily have to be that. It could be a sport or something dangerous that can cause you an issue, or going against the advice that a medical professional has given you, or whatever. You know what it is for you. But this Tunhi is very clear that you're playing with some fire, and that you're very curious and tempted, and you kind of want to go over there, and it looks yummy, but there are also other yummy things that you can pick from that grab bag. It doesn't have to be that one thing that you already sort of know it's going to cause you pain, not just you, but someone else. All right, I'll leave it there. All right, next, Cancer for the month of November. What quick advice, Spirit, do you have for Cancer for the month of November? And I just smiled because actually right after this reading, I'm going to go see one of my besties, one of my close friends who is a Cancer. And I haven't seen her since COVID started, or since this whole pandemic. And it's been months. And we live blocks from each other, and we have not seen each other. So super excited to see her. My Tanya, I'm putting that back. Did not flip. If it's meant to be, don't worry, it'll come back. Okay, Spirit, what advice do you have for Cancer for the month of November? Well, my Cancers. You're getting lots of downloads, huh? This is a gorgeous card. I love this. I think Aquarius or Pisces got this last month, if I'm not mistaken. How gorgeous is that? It's the Ace of Wands. And you see how she's getting these downloads here, this above the crown chakra activation going on there, very spiritual, right? Now, again, the Wands is, it's that Reiki, it's that life force energy, Kundalini energy, it's passion, it's action, it's new projects, and being the Ace, it's at the beginning of a stage or a phase, right? So Cancers, there's either a new passionate love, and I'm thinking of some of my Cancerian besties right now that I'm like, yeah, I hope they do. But this is also beginnings in creative projects, right? And they are passionate, passion projects, things that you really believe in and stand by, not just believe in on you know, emotional, mental level, but also physically, like literally you feel yourself in that project, like you see yourself. And this could also be, you know, like the way you feel when you have your own child. I don't know, because I've never had babies or anything, but it's that sense of like you created, it came of you, that you even see yourself in it. And sometimes I think with creative projects, it's funny, right? Because sometimes we may see ourselves in it intellectually, but not full physically, wholeheartedly. And this is about all of it. It's about the intellectual side of it, the emotional, the mental, but it's also raw, physical, passionate energy. And so you're coming into something, who knows, maybe when I go see my friend, I'll find out, you know, what she's up to. But, you know, this could be a new relationship. It can be new projects. But the advice here is very clear: to stay in tune and open to whatever information you're receiving regarding this connection, whether it be a new project, business relationship, new career, even travel. I just got that for some of you, it's traveling to somewhere completely, maybe a warm place, a fire element ruled place, and you're feeling good. This is good. So remain open. If it feels a little scary for you because you haven't been in this energy for a while, Cancer, if it feels a little scary for you, Spirit is saying it's okay. Just be open and trust. Okay. And next, Leo. Whoops. Clumsy hands. I can't even blame Mercury in retrograde anymore. Okay, so Leo, what advice, quick advice do we have for Leo? And I just, being that Leo rules the 5th house, and the 5th house is about children, I want to put a little plug right in here and remind everyone that really one of my main focuses, or my main focus here on my new YouTube channel, is the child tarot readings. And it's for guardians and parents of, you know, children. So like the Aries child, the Leo child, or what have you. And so if you have children, or you know someone who has children, please send them a link to my child tarot playlist, and I'll plug it in down below so it's easy for you to just grab and send it to some friends. All right, Leo, what advice do we have for you during the month of November? I feel like I'm talking super fast. I wonder what's going on with my Mercury today. All right, Leo. Ah, there we go. Ooh, Leo. You're going somewhere. Moving along in a journey, traveling potentially. Are you traveling to see someone special? So the Chariot is Cancer, Cancerian ruled. It's water. It's all emotion. It's movement forward. It's a very magical card in the sense that the chariots, these horses here are being led by intuition, and they aren't bound to this individual, right? They just, it's almost like, I'm getting also here that your life is beginning to move towards the direction that you have visualized. As if you have been working on some scripting, some visualization work, some law of attraction and rituals that you have been working on, intentions that you might have done this previous new moon or full moon, or currently here in November, whatever you are intentioning, whatever you're specifically doing is working, and it's moving along, and it's being heard by that which guides you, right? Your higher power there. But this is also about moving away, like literally physically moving somewhere. So you could be moving somewhere near water, or you could be moving away from water also. But wherever you're going, whether this is to a new relationship, this can also be a new relationship, by the way, because we're talking about emotion, though. We're talking about Cancerian energy, right? It could be moving homes because, again, Cancerian energy rules the home life. It can also be moving forward with having a child. That's also a big one here. But you see how you have the opposites. You have the black horse and the white horse here. And it's about balancing both feminine and masculine too. So you're finding that whatever it is you're doing, whatever movement forward you're doing, whether it's a new job, a new home, a new person, new relationship, that there's something about that that's going to balance who you are as an individual. And the advice here is to continue visioning that. Whatever that is that you put forth is working. Whatever rituals you're doing, they are working. Whatever people you're surrounding yourself with who are co-creators with you in this, it's all working. So the advice is to keep doing what you're doing, even if you don't see, because the Chariot it starts to move slowly and then it picks up, right? So even if you don't see it moving along as fast as you'd like it to, it will. Just keep doing what you're doing. Okay, Virgo. What is the advice for November, Virgo? Virgo. It's getting like super cloudy and it's messing up my light. Ah, Virgo. You are opening up. I love it. This is gorgeous. Hierophant. So, Virgo, you are getting acquainted with the guru within. Now, I don't believe in gurus. I don't think that, that's just my own philosophical guru here, guru there. But I'm just using that to just illustrate the meaning of it, right? Or to explain it. And basically with this card, this is my favorite Hierophant card of any deck I own, actually. Because you see that radiance, that happiness that he's radiating because he has found himself, because he is truly in a power position. Like the Hierophant is always an authority position, right? It's always about, the Hierophant is the teacher, the religious leader, all the things that we consider above and higher, right? In terms of the hierarchy of things. But what I love about this card is that it's not about an external, it's about an internal feeling. And it's about really finding those themes that I just said, like the teacher and the guru, whatever, really finding that within yourself. And so there's something here in November, it's going to break you open. And I'm getting the feeling that it's some kind of relationship. It's like you're getting into something that is really allowing you to blossom. You see how, I don't think you can really see from the distance in the lighting, but there's this pattern, this beautiful, it's like this explosion has happened, and you see it's like a staircase leading up to the heavens here. And it's like he's at the foot of it. Like this is him. The staircase represents his consciousness, right? His knowledge, his ability his mental capacity as well. But it's mostly spiritual in this card. And the staircase is there, but really he's already arrived at the top, which is where that crown chakra is. It's where that energy and that download and the intuition is coming in. And there's this beautiful pattern here, like sacred geometry pattern here, that's, protecting that awareness that you've come into. And so what you're going to find here, this is just stunning. Like there's no way, like I wish you could just see it in person because it's so beautiful. So in terms of advice, Virgo, it's about continue opening yourself up to this energy. And whoever this is, it's like someone, it could be a person, it could be a thing, it could be something you just learned. Whatever it is for you, someone or something has opened the door. It's like someone opened the door to this existence, this thing that you have inside of you that you were not aware of was there. Or maybe you were aware of was there, but you didn't really see the power within, like the actual power that you have. And all of a sudden you're becoming aware of it. And so the advice I'm hearing is to pace yourself, because what you don't want to do is come into this beautiful, yummy power and it be so much or too much all at once that you maybe shy away or perhaps shy away from the person or the thing that has opened the door. So I hope that makes sense. So there's a feeling here of, in terms of the advice piece of this, first of all, Spirit is confirming you're on the right path. You're doing great. Keep doing what you're doing, even if it doesn't feel like you're doing great, number one. And number two, pace yourself. So it's kind of like taking your vitamin of inner love, like taking it, like don't take the whole jar all at once. And I don't even know how to really even articulate that in a better way that makes sense. But basically, like, allow yourself to savor. Like if you can, let's say, for example, and I just saw this, let's say you came into a text, like a literature or something, you're reading a book, and that book makes you open, and you're just devouring the entire book, and then you go to the next series of the book, and then the next series. So what Spirit is saying is, pace yourself. That spirituality that you're tapped into isn't going anywhere. It's in there. So in other words, it's not going to go away if you consume it all in one day, all that knowledge. It just, pace yourself, because you're in a very beautiful place. And just Spirit wants you to not take so much of it that then you won't want to come back to it. I hope that makes sense. I think it does. You get it. You get what I'm saying. And by the way, I repeat myself a lot. It's a thing. So I apologize if I over and over again. Okay, so next sign is Libra. Libra for November. What is the advice for Libra? That was not a flip. What is the advice for Libra Spirit for the month of November? For the month of November. There we go. I see. So you've been working hard, Libra, and Spirit is saying, just rest for a little bit. Just take a breather. Not a rest, it's not like a Four of Swords rest. It's a pause rest to recalibrate, number one. But also, there's some work you are doing. You're doing a lot. You have your hands in a lot of projects. It's a lot going on here. And what Spirit is saying is to pause, not to pause because you need to rest and rejuvenate, although that is important. I'm not saying not to do that. But what this more specifically is about, it's about pausing to reassess everything that you're doing. There's a feeling here that there's a way, and I'll explain why I'm saying this. There's something about your projects that could be tied in a little bit more effortlessly, that they can actually flow a little bit better together. But because you're so busy working on them, there's a feeling of you kind of siloing them unnecessarily. And it could actually be smoother for you so basically pause, look at your projects from a different perspective, because that's what the Hangman is always about. looking at things from a different perspective, pausing before you make a move and take your bold action. Or maybe if you're getting ready to, let's say, introduce a new product or a project, to pause, just look at it from different perspectives, look at it from different audience perspective, and see if there's something that's maybe missing that needs to be included. And then also, there's something that in that pause is going to come to you. And again, I'm getting a lot of crown chakra energy stuff come up today. So see, you have this, right? Because she's hanging upside down there because it's about looking at things from a different perspective. And there's that color again near the crown chakra, but it's in yellow also. So that's also solar plexus chakra, right? And so there's something there that has to do, there's something about balancing those two energies in relationship to whatever projects, whatever stuff you're working in. This can also be your hobbies. It doesn't have to be like a project or something productive necessarily. It can be a hobby that you're really enjoying that's allowing you to express yourself. Because even though she's pausing here, she's very open and aligned and intuitive. Like she's open and receptive, right? Like she's taking in the intuition. She's paying attention to what Spirit is saying and how she's been guided. So you're doing a great job with that. But what Spirit is saying is just pause, take a breather, breathe. There's some of you who have some of you who have a project that you're about to release. There's something you need to go back and look at. It's not a bad thing. It's not like if you miss it, it'll be horrible, but there's something that could be better. There's an improvement that you could make, and it's a small improvement if you just pause before you put it out. Okay? All right. I'm going to leave it there. Okay. So Scorpio. What is the advice for Scorpio during the month of November? I swear, like the minute I started my YouTube channel, I forgot to shuffle, like how to shuffle. Like, I don't know. It's like it knows it's being watched. So Scorpio, what is the advice for Scorpio during the month of November? And Scorpio, if you haven't watched my solar return reading yet, please go watch it. It's good for a whole year. It's a whole solar return reading for you during your birthday. Next, in a couple of weeks, I'll be recording Sagittarius solar return for you. If you haven't seen it, go see it. And it's good for you for the month of November. November. By the way, that crying sound that you hear in the background, that it's a fan. It's not like a child crying or anything like that. It's just a very old fan. How appropriate, Scorpio. King of Cups. You are the King of Cups, aren't you? Especially during, this is your season. So yeah, you're feeling your groove. You're feeling yourself. The King of Cups is strong, emotionally balanced, but also very spiritually balanced. But look at that crown above. Again, why I'm seeing a lot of crown chakra stuff come up this month. And, you know, I think a lot of that has to do with so many realizations that we're seeing in the world, right? As we see things unfold, especially in the US during the election and whatnot, I think we're opening up to a different, like we're seeing things from a different perspective now, and our crown chakra is actually opening up, our third eye, all this stuff is happening. For you especially, Scorpio, you are vibing very high on your intuition. You are, what's happening, you're going to notice that in the month of November, already in October during this birthday season, and beyond that even, you're going to notice that a lot of people are going to be tugging at you for either advice, support, or there's something about your energy right now that people are just wanting it, needing it, because it's so well balanced. And it's not balanced in a, it's like you've achieved, there's a level of achievement that you have accomplished. It's non-material. It's a non-material achievement. It's peacefulness. It's like you have achieved this level of peacefulness that has surprised even you, but also it's making others around you want to eat that up. So in terms of advice, what I'm picking up for you is to remain in that energy, to really make sure that you're spending time sustaining that by continuing to feed yourself before you extend yourself to others, because you're going to be needed quite a bit here. Either a lot of you have family members that are relying on you to be the head of the house, or to be the ones to mediate or make decisions about the household, or what things should happen next. Some of you are CEOs running big departments, or people are relying on you. And so there are going to be some heavy energies coming in November for a lot of us. You're going to be looked at by many people in terms of where do we take the ship now, King of Cups? Where do we go now, King of Cups? Where do we go now, Scorpio? What do you think we should do? What's the best next thing to do? And so people are going to be looking at you for answers here, because you are so balanced, and because people are feeling that they need what you have, which is that peacefulness, right? That balance. Because when you're balanced spiritually and emotionally, you're also mentally, intellectually, right? You can handle a lot more. So the advice for you, Scorpio, is that yes, while you're going to have a high capacity to do this for others, or to be there for others, make sure that you are working on you first, right? And I know that it sounds cliche. It's one of those, well, yeah, of course I want to work. But when you're so full at the beginning, I know this, I've observed this in myself too, and I'm a Scorpio moon. So, I totally get how you jive, Scorpio. And I think that, sometimes when we're so full and we start to give, because we come into it full, we don't actually see as we're being depleted from that energy when we're giving to others. So just make sure that although you're feeling strong, you're doing great, you're doing whatever rituals you're doing to maintain this energy, keep doing them. And make sure that as, you're giving to others, that you are replenishing that energy, that you're replenishing yourself in whatever way that works for you, whether it's being with your loved one that fills you up, whether it's being by yourself meditating, whether it's being by water, whatever it is for you. Make sure that you're taking that time to do that, because we're going to need you, Scorp. We're going to need you here in November and beyond. Okay, so the next is Sagittarius. Sagittarius, what is the advice? Quick advice for November, Sagittarius. In Sagittarius, I will be recording your solar return birthday reading soon. That'll be good for 1 year. It's going to be very similar to the way I did it for Scorpio. So I hope you come back when that's, oh my gosh, what is going on with my hands? This is like comedy. All right. Maybe I just need to be quiet and focus on this. This has been happening all month. And of course, when I'm alone without, recording, I'm fierce with my shuffling. And now it's like, can't even do it. All right. Sagittarius. What is your advice, Spirit, for Sagittarius for the month of November? One card, please. Ace of Wands. So you got the same card. I believe Cancer got this. Yeah, Cancer got this. And Wands, again, Sagittarius is a fire sign. Wands is fire. It's all about the energy. It's all about physicality. It's all about passion. It's all about projects, creativity, Kundalini energy, life force energy, Reiki energy, all of that. All that which fires us up, right? to get things going and done. And here, the Ace of Wands, it's going to be very similar to the advice that Cancer got here. And the Ace of Wands is saying, you're being opened up. Your crown chakra is being opened up here, and you're receiving a lot of ideas. And you especially, I'm feeling this strongly for you, Sagittarius, is make sure that you are giving yourself enough alone time to receive the downloads, or that you're listening to the intuition that you're getting regarding projects and new beginnings. This is also about the beginning of a new relationship, potentially, that's passionate, that fuels you, that makes you feel young again, that makes you feel like you are, and I know this to be true because I know a few Sagittarians who have met people recently who are more in their element than ever. And I think that this is, Spirit is confirming to follow that and not to be afraid of it, and to not be afraid of what your that inner light that's been ignited, not to be afraid of that. That's the advice for you, Sagittarius, is to remain open to this new, beautiful energy that you're getting, and to know that you deserve it. I think that's the most important thing, is not to be afraid to go towards it, and not to, just not to be afraid. Like, be brave, like, have the courage to love again, have the courage to create again, have the courage to, whatever this is for you that in the past perhaps didn't work and it's slowing you down a little bit. Spirit is saying it's okay. Like, it's all about the timing. The timing is right, and have the courage to go towards it. You deserve it. And now I'm super curious to see how your solar return reading is going to go, Saggy. So come back and visit my channel for that. Okay. The next is Capricorn. 7 of Wands. Capricorn, didn't you get this last month? 7 of Wands. Ooh, Cappy. Who are you defending yourself against, or who are you needing to create boundaries against or for? Okay, so Capricorn. So there's a lot of energy coming at you. You got some stuff going on with your solar plexus here and your root chakra as well. So there is a feeling here of defending your home. See how she has those 7 wands coming at her, and she's like creating a boundary, right? She's shielding herself. She's in this little bubble. You see how there's that bubble that she's protecting herself inside of it, and she's shielding herself, creating boundaries, right, against all this energy that's coming at her. And so Capricorn, you've been experiencing here in the month of October going into November, you've been experiencing a lot of energy, perhaps people complaining about your work, complaining about you as a person, or even just coming at you strongly in a way that's making you just want to check out a little bit and be on your own and really create boundaries. And this, by the way, I'm picking up for you specifically, is very much related to the home. Although some of you will be experiencing this in the work life, but this feels to me like there's some energy at home. Either you have a lot of stuff going on, which a lot of us do, right? Especially if you're working from home, you've got the kids, you've got the spouse, you've got the dog, you've got this, you've got that. But this feels a little bit more like conflict, like actual conflict coming at you from the external within your home, your house. And it could be you're going through construction, or it can be the in-laws have temporarily moved in with you. Sorry, I laughed there. That was a little evil. But it could be like your in-laws are there with you, or you're staying with the in-laws for some whatever reason, or at work there are a lot of projects coming at you, or perhaps either way, the bottom line is you feel this strong sense of, I need to protect myself. And this is both all spiritually, mentally, intellectually, but also physically. So there are some of you who may even feel not necessarily physically safe for whatever reason. And what Spirit is saying here is you are protected, number one. And your inner guidance, that which protects you, that which you hold sacred, is always with you. You just have to call for it, whether it's through meditation, prayer, whatever it is that you believe in. What Spirit is saying here is you have a capacity that sometimes maybe you don't tap into, because it is so strong that maybe you don't even notice that it's there. But what Spirit is saying here is you are protected. Continue doing what you're doing to build boundaries. Continue creating boundaries. And sometimes it's hardest to create boundaries against people we love and we live with, right? Because, well, they live with us. So how do we do that? Especially if you're helping someone, like let's say you moved in your in-laws because someone is sick or what have you, because that's what I'm picking up for some of you. You may feel bad. You don't want to, and Capricorns don't usually feel bad about stuff like this. So this is why I'm feeling this is more home driven, because Capricorns are they're great at creating boundaries. Capricorns are like, when they're focused on something, they're focused and their yes is yes and their no is no, and they're very determined people. So the fact that this is coming up and that you're feeling a little vulnerable right now, Cappy, tells me that it's something related to your emotional, like something that you hold close to your heart, whatever this is. So again, what Spirit is saying is whatever you hold sacred, whatever higher power you believe in, it's there for you always, and you have access to it. Like, you just need to reach out to it. Okay. All right. Okay. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius? If I can shuffle. Okay. Aquarius for the month of November. What advice do we have for Aquarius for the month of November? Let's see. Aqua. Aquarius. What do we have for Aquarius during the month of November? No, those are not flippers. No. See, you hear that? That's not a crying child. That is an old vent in my kitchen that I actually really love the sound of. I know it's eerie, but it reminds me of being like in a desert town. It reminds me of being like in a desert town with like windmills and like in the middle of nowhere. And I don't know, there's something sexy to me about that and beautiful. But it creeps some people out, apparently, I've been told. King of Swords, Aqua. Aquarius, this is great, right? Now, Swords does represent air sign, and you are the king of your element this month. That's wonderful. So you're speaking your truth. You are saying what you mean, meaning what you say. You're also not, and it's funny because Aquarians typically are a little bit more, they're the ones who will talk to anyone, and, they're open to everyone. And there's, at least for me, that's been my experience with Aquarians. But this month you're sort of like, no, I only want to be around that which is good, that which is true, that which is consistent, and that which is going the same direction that I'm going, that shares the same vision, mission that I have. It's like you've entered a time frame of, it's almost like you're realizing how much more you have to offer, whether it's your knowledge, whether it's, a lot of you, like, let's say you're a lawyer, you're realizing you have this capacity to help others, yet you haven't been, or you have some kind of skill set that perhaps you kind of poo-pooed a little bit. You weren't so maybe realizing how important that and valuable that asset and that skill set is to human beings, and how much it's needed right now. And I think you're coming into this realization of, for some of you, it can be clean cooking, clean eating, exercising, that you can be teaching others, whatever it is, whether it's how to write, how to read. A lot of this is it's a very highly intellectual king, right? So you're coming into this realization of how powerfully intelligent you are, and that it's something that needs to be shared with others. You're not going to want to waste your time on small talk. If anyone can do small talk, it's an Aquarius, or, sometimes, it's like you have the ability to just kind of flow with whatever. You can have small talk, not have small talk. But this month you're not having it. This month you want to get right into the things that are serious, the things that mean a lot. So it's like the other flip of Saturn, right? So like with Aquarius, with modern astrology, it's always said that Uranus, rules Aquarius. Yes, that's true. But the traditional rooted ruler of Aquarius is Saturn. And Saturn will never not be its ruler. Saturn, even if there are hints of Uranus that, grace Aquarius, and yeah, there is some truth to the characteristics of Uranus in terms of Aquarius rulership. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Saturn will always be there. Like Saturn will always hang out and be the main ruler. And so Saturn is very serious, right? Once Saturn makes up their mind, whether it's to leave or stay or commit or not commit, whenever they make up their mind about something, they're determined. And it's, any Saturn ruled people. And in this case, Aquarius, you are Saturn ruled, right? And you're going to feel that Saturnian seriousness in November in terms of, I have this value and I don't want to just waste it away on anyone or anything. And Spirit is saying, yeah, confirmed. That's exactly the path that you're supposed to be on. There's something here. You're going to help. It's about helping humanity in greater numbers. Even if greater numbers for you may be a small school or a small apartment building, or for you may be thinking it's just 2 people that you can show this to. Well, those 2 people multiply, right? Because they affect the people that they come in contact with, and those people they come in contact with affect the next people they come in contact with. So don't underestimate the number of even if it's just one other person that you're teaching, whatever it is you're teaching. But there's something here that you are to do, and you're taking it seriously. I'm so curious. What is it? Let me know. I want to know in the comments. Let me know. Okay, Pisces. All right. Were these flips? Oh, Pisces. Yeah, these were flips. How nice, Pisces. Wouldn't it be nice to be you right now? Okay, so Pisces got the Knight of Cups and the Fool. I don't think you need to be an astrologer or a tarot card reader to know what this means. I think we all watching this here now know that Pisces is coming into some yummy, yummy love, love, love here in November. Now, here's the interesting thing. Knight of Cups, yes, it's usually attributed to like the emotional, the romantic, making an offer, that kind of thing. But the way this came out is, yes, there is a romantic element to this, but there's also a very, very sacred spiritual element of self-love here. There is something here in October, November that is urging you to turn inward and give yourself all that love that you would normally give to another, which Pisces, I mean, come on, that's like one of the most romantic signs, right? Like they wrote the book on romance, right? Like they know romance. If they're not actively in romance, they're thinking about it and they're dreaming about it and they're coming up with like these novellas in their mind about beautiful love and whatnot. So, you have something here in November coming in, and I feel that it's already been happening for you here in October as well. You have an opportunity to explore something new in terms of either love, creativity, but also whatever that is, whether it's another individual that's opening this door or whether it's a project, it's aligning you with you. And it's allowing you to explore a side of yourself that you've never, ever explored before. It's different. It's new. It's a little scary, but you're not running away from it. You're not shying away from it. You want to offer this up. You want to offer yourself to this energy. Now, again, this energy can be another person. It can be a project. It can also be yourself. There's a lot of healing going on. If I remember correctly, Pisces, last month you weren't doing so great. Or last reading that I did, there was some dark night of the soul, if I remember correctly, that you were going through. It looks to me here in November that you are freeing yourself from that. Look how beautiful this card is. You know, and there's all this sacred geometry. I think that's Venus sacred geometry there. It's like similar to my little logo. My logo is the sacred geometry of Venus. I don't know if you've seen it. And this is about opening up. And you see she's holding that, I think it's an amethyst that she's holding. And she's opening herself up to that which is sacred in herself and her beautiful, lovely passion that she has, right? And he's facing it. He's not running away from it. So this could be another individual, and this could be the other person also. But in any case, what Spirit is saying is go for it. There's no reason here to shy away from it. There's no reason here to be afraid of it. And this is going to lead you, whatever this is, whether it's a relationship, a new you, a new wardrobe, whatever it is that's getting you all like spunky and yummy with yourself, is going to open the door to so many other things that you have no idea. And you know, that dark night of the soul that you went through last month, this will make that all worth it. Not that it ever is fun to go through the dark nights of the soul, but when we get out of it and we are able to, it makes us appreciate the beautiful things that come in afterwards a lot more, doesn't it? Because then we're able, there's that contrast, and you had enough contrast. The last time I did your reading, you were in such a dark place that now you know, this is where I want to be. I'm sure of it. I'm taking it. I just felt that there might be some reconciliation happening for a few of you. And that could have been why you were so like upset and depressed last week, that now you're seeing that light, that opportunity, or that rekindling and that possibility of resurrection here. It's quite beautiful. So your advice, keep going that direction. Go towards this person, thing, or experience that you're going through that's opening yourself up to you, that's really welcoming you to you. All right, lovelies. That's it. I am done. And remember, I am Elena Valdez. I am so grateful that you're visiting my channel, and I want to ask you to please subscribe. I am new here on YouTube, and I want to make sure that I grow my channel and hopefully get the opportunity to do a lot more for all of you. Have a wonderful November. Please remember, I have the Child Tarot specifically for parents and guardians of little ones. So if you want a tarot from the perspective of the child, please come visit that playlist. I'll link it below so that you can also share it with others. Okay, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your month, and I'll see you here in December. Wow, time is flying. Okay, bye.